All right, what up? We back. I'll do it myself. Wayno. I'm saying Saturday. Good energy. Good direction. Aiming at all targets that deserve to be hit. Today, we talking about this Jay-Z stuff. We talking about this Jay-Z stuff. Because 2 months ago, when this thing was brought to the world, so many people, so many people, so many people was strong. They was wrong and strong. You know what I mean? They was wrong and strong. God damn, they were going heavy. And it became this conversation about, oh, you're compromised. I want y'all to know something. For everybody who uses this word compromise when referring to me, nobody can pay for my opinion. If I was a person that could get paid just for some to form an opinion, y'all would have known that years ago. Don't nobody pay me but me. Know what I'm saying? Don't nobody put no grind in for what I'm doing but me. Shouts out to my producer, Fa. You know what I mean? He does a lot of back end work. Shouts out to my bro. But y'all have no idea the amount of time that I take to put into what it is that I do. And this ain't all about me. Let's just put that out there. This ain't all about me. But when that word compromise, oh, you compromise because I don't believe bullshit, because you not going to be able to just say anything to me and make me believe it, because I'm not going to believe that in order to reach the highest levels of success, that you have to be a devil worshiper or you have to be a bad or harmful person to other people. I don't believe that. And that's not just coming from entertainment. It's tons of people that I've seen become successful in my life that don't work in the world of entertainment. I have family members. My family's from Fayetteville, North Carolina. If you know any Clarks in Fayetteville, North Carolina, you know how successful my bloodline is. You know what I'm saying? So I've had prime examples of people right in front of me. And I've had the wrong examples as well. I'm not going to sit here and act like everything is all good, because it's not. I've had the wrong examples and I've had the right examples. But the fact of the matter is that we live in a world and a time. Y'all ever seen the movie Idiocracy when Terry Crews was the president? You know what I'm saying? There was all types of silly and dumb shit going on throughout this movie. That's the times we living in now. Because a lot of y'all, and if it don't apply, let it fly. You know what I'm saying? If it don't apply, let it fly. But a lot of y'all want to see negative. I talked about the car crash, how everybody wants to just see the car crash. Don't nobody want to keep it moving because they want to believe in their mind that shit is all bad all the time, because anybody who's in any seat or form of power had to have done something, you know what I'm saying, illegitimate or not on code in order to be in that position. So this Jay-Z situation, right? It was so many people that attacked me on my channel. And I was like, damn, y'all don't y'all don't fuck with me. Like, what I be doing? Like, you know what I mean? All I do is get on camera and talk directly to y'all. You know what I'm saying? I love doing what I'm doing because this is the first time I've ever been able to articulate my own vision. But a lot of people wanted this shit to be true. And yes, we're going to bring the comments up. We are going to bring the comments up. So, you know, before I get into that, let's just go through a bit of the story, right? So, as reported by BBC, a lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs and Jay-Z, which alleged the rape of a 13-year-old girl in 2000, has been dismissed, according to legal filings submitted on Friday in New York. The attorney representing the anonymous plaintiff, referred to as Jane Doe, voluntarily withdrew the case. Court records show. All right, so it says the filing was submitted by lawyer Tony Busby, who is representing dozens of plaintiffs in lawsuits alleging sexual misconduct by Sean Combs. So there was a point in time during this whole tenure that people was making it out to be like Tony Busby was the guy. He was the one that was going to, like, what they say, the red herring or all types of other silly shit to describe somebody. Oh no, man, he's the one. He wins a lot of civil suits. And Jay-Z's no different than any of these other guys. And everybody, I told y'all, when people start staring at the camera and they don't blink and they say a bunch of bullshit, they say a paragraph of bullshit, and you put that silly ass "I got 5 on it" beat behind the conversation, people just start to believe, oh, it's got to be true. Because you want to know why? You're being programmed. Who would ever thought that, let's say, not even 20 years ago, let's say 10 years ago, let's say 15 years ago, in 2010, that we would have heard that there's going to be a point in time where everyone mimics everyone. Somebody sees somebody do something good and they say, let me do that. The challenge, right? That same mentality that people have to do a TikTok challenge or whatever you see on Instagram or YouTube that's trending, it falls into hate. That shit fall right down the hate guideline. That shit fall right down the hate hill into the bullshit river. And a lot of people are swimming in that bullshit river. And let me tell you, right? So it says that the filing states that the plaintiff hereby gives notice that the action is voluntarily dismissed with prejudice. Voluntarily dismissed with prejudice. Hey, class, does everybody in here know what prejudice means? No. So let's read it all together, class. Means dismiss permanently. In the formal legal world, a court case that is dismissed with prejudice means that is dismissed permanently. A case dismissed with prejudice is over and done with, once and for all, and cannot be brought back to court. A case dismissed without prejudice means the opposite. It is not dismissed forever. So this case, right, it came at a time, and when Jay, tried to go, well, not tried to, when he put that letter out, everybody said, oh, he responded. Well, he's got to be guilty, right? Oh, he's saying all of this. You know why? Because they sweeping it under the rug. Why do y'all want, all right, let's make it a black thing. Let's make it a black thing. Because I'm going to keep it 100. I don't converse with enough white people to know if white people do that to other white people. Let's make it a black thing. Why are we so eager to believe that all entertainers are bad people? Why are we so fast to support the allegations of things when we have no evidence of truth? Why are we so adamant and so wrong and motherfucking strong about being the first to say something when that thing to say might just be in that bullshit river I was talking about that people swimming in? Why? Is it for you to be seen? Is it for you to be heard? I come to find out that a lot of people who play them comment sections and they talk real crazy and greasy and all of that. And I say when I'm on 2K, when I play on 2K online or I play Mortal Kombat online, and somebody says something disrespectful to me for no reason, you know what I tell them? I don't get mad. I say, you know what? Go ahead, get your shit off, because you don't talk tough to nobody. Nobody. You don't talk tough at all. Because if you was a person that talked tough in your daily life, when it's time for some recreation and get on the game, that's the last thing you're going to do. But the people who talk the craziest, the people who are the loudest online, are the softest motherfuckers you could possibly think of. Soft. As Loose Cannon would say. You know what I mean? Soft as Chef Boyardee's ravioli. Soft. Shout out to Loose Cannon. I think that nigga's hilarious. But other than that, we're talking about all these shifts and all of these, hip hop needs to evolve and it needs to grow up and it needs to be mature and it needs to be this and it needs to be that. Not when it's not the person you're rooting for. That's what I learned. If it's not the person you're rooting for, if it's not your favorite artist, that's when it doesn't need to be any of that, right? I just think this, right? Is everybody perfect? Nah. Do people have skeletons? Yeah. Does everybody have skeletons? I actually don't know. People could say that all day. Everybody got something they hiding. I don't know if that's true. I know that people would like to assume that. And by no means am I giving you this massive background check on Jay-Z to say that he's never done anything wrong in his life. I'm not that person. What I will say, and I said this before, is that my time working at Rockefeller, from how I've known Jay for the years that I've known him, for how I know all of the people that's around him, you know, from the Lennys to the Tatas to the Beehives to the Emerys, you know what I'm saying? These are people I actually know that watch me grow up in this game. They've never really displayed anything like that ever. That they're predatory people or they're people who take advantage of people in reckless ways. And again, I'm talking from my own experience. I can't talk from your perspective because for the person I don't knock anybody for not working in music. Honestly, working in music is not the best career path. I will tell all of y'all that. For the ones that even want to do it, it's very tough. It's not easy. But what I will say is like, for the ones who never experienced a day in any music industry stuff, if you've never been on a video set, if you've never been at an industry party, if you've never been at a listening party, if you just assume, right? Like if you just assume, you got to take a little moment to take a step back and really think, critically think. Think for yourself. Don't get thrown into the hive mind shit. Don't be a symbiote. You know what I mean? A symbiote. Don't be a symbiote. You know, Venom said 50 billion years of hive mind knowledge would crumble somebody's brain. And a lot of people is living by the hive mind knowledge. They hear somebody say something and they repeat it. Oh, you're right. Yeah. Without thinking for themselves. Without taking the moment to say, I don't know if that sounds right or not. Now, when it comes to victims in this space and all of these allegations that happen, is everybody innocent? Hell no. Everybody's not innocent. And the court of public opinion is way lower than the judicial court. The court of public opinion is every day. It happens at work. It happens in the gym. It happens when you at a family reunion. It happens whenever you doing anything for recreation, just chilling. The court of public opinion is everywhere around us. And these phones have made it louder than ever. So sometimes people can't hear themselves. And then they think that if they research enough, then that makes them an expert on things. A lot of y'all, just because you research, that don't make you a detective. A lot of y'all, just because y'all follow people's streams and y'all follow their discords and all of that, that don't mean that you tapped in. You know what I'm saying? So take a moment, each and every one of us, me included, because I watch basketball every time a game's on. This the first season since like the year 2000 that I haven't purchased League Pass though. I just really wasn't enthused this year. But for a person who watches basketball all the time, that doesn't make me a basketball player. For the person who listens to music all the time and reads articles, that doesn't make you a hip hop. I wouldn't say historian because a historian probably falls under different guidelines, but it doesn't make you an expert in every field. You feel me? Like Charles Barkley said, God's the only expert. But I just want people to just take time to like really think for themselves. When we seen the interview, you know what I'm saying? When we seen the interview of this lady who said, well, the friend that was with me, she passed away. My father, we from Rochester, New York, and that's 6 hours away from New York City. We drove down and I made it there at 6:30 p.m. and my friend dropped me off and drove away. This friend went all the way back to Rochester. You know what I mean? A friend, she's 13. How old was this friend? Right? Then I get assaulted. I run out. I run to a gas station. Mind you, I had already taken a drink that I don't know what was in it, but I was able to smack. And that's another thing. When I said, yo, so we supposed to believe that this 13-year-old smacked Diddy in his neck or chopped him, because that's what she said, chopped him in his neck. And you know what I was greeted with online? You'll never know what type of strength you may have. Come on, bro. I know a lot of people want to believe bad things about Diddy because people just don't like him. That's just the realness of the situation. People do not like Diddy. They don't. They never really have. You know what I mean? People always looked at him like oh man, I can't wait for his turn. And now that he's getting his turn, they want everybody who's ever been associated with him to be him. And even with that being said, Diddy still has to go and face his accuser, which is the New York State. And the New York federal government or the federal government, not the New York federal government, but the federal government, right? He still has to go face his accuser, right? And he has that right. So he hasn't been proven guilty of anything other than putting his hands on Cassie, which we all agree was some disgusting bullshit. We all can agree about that. But a lot of this stuff, it comes with just making stuff up. Diddy's in a RICO by himself. While there are documentaries and all of that coming out, he has to have his day in court. And I think that what convicted him in the eyes of the public, the court of public opinion, was that Cassie tape. When that Cassie tape wasn't out, people were still, nah, Diddy might be all right, Diddy might be good. People were still supporting him and all that. But when that tape came out, they was like, oh no, he did everything he said, because he ain't tell us about that. Artists, entertainers, athletes, they are not gods. They are not our saviors. They are not necessarily our leaders in a certain space. Now, they can lead, you know what I'm saying? But it depends on what person you're talking about and what they trying to represent. With that being said, that doesn't mean that just because I'm a fan of Jay-Z that I believe that, oh, he could never do any wrong. But I just haven't seen him do any wrong, personally and professionally. When I was working with him, I never really seen him do anybody wrong. I can honestly say that. I don't know what everybody else's experience is, but I know my experience. I just want to say to all the people who had something negative to say towards me, like the dude who said, if it comes out that he said if he end up being guilty, you looking like a goofy. Damn, I want to say something really nasty and disrespectful, but I'm gonna be the bigger man and just call you a bitch. That's what I'm gonna do. For the other person that said, you know, that I was lame, your father's a bitch. For the other, the young lady who kept like continuously telling me that I was gonna regret this because Jay-Z is guilty and him and Beyonce are nasty people and all that, and how I was a clown and all of that. You a cornball. Got a lot of corn in your DNA. You got a lot of sucker in your DNA. And if you hit the lotto for $500 billion tomorrow, that shit could never wash it. So when y'all come at me, just make sure y'all got some fucking heat, because I'm tired of people trying to play with me all the fucking time. Listen, I'm from Harlem and the Bronx. I know how to joke. I know how to play. Stop trying to talk crazy and think you're not going to get talked crazy to. Because if you say something I don't like, I'm going to say something too. This is how I do it myself. It's a Saturday edition. Patreon is coming soon. Y'all make sure y'all lock in with that, because it ain't going to be free. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.